morning, Joydy. Oh boy, let me go check my stuff to all chat. So, I am up. Barely, but I am up. So I'm just looking at my big block book here, and I haven't done Felicity or Charisma. I've done all the other ones, either for them or on this channel. And I have these blocks. So remember, we crumbed these blocks, and then I kind of bordered them at the campground. And right now, because the one thing I didn't think of is that, yes, my sewing machine runs with the generator, but I don't know about an iron, and I didn't want to kind of figure that out. So I did a lot of these blocks with just like finger pressing. Good morning, Catherine. Good morning, Muriel. I do not have my reading glasses up here. I have to look for them. I'm not quite sure where they are at the moment. So I am pressing these to figure out what to do. I'm going to measure them, and then we're going to figure out how to set these. So these are going to be a quilt of valor. I had decided that this is going to be a quilt of valor. And yeah, I just don't know what I'm going to do with them quite just yet. Good morning, Nikki. Nikki yesterday was looking like she was doing some iris gardening. And you know, I had gotten irises from my mom's house before she sold it here, and they just really, this was a while ago she sold it, and I really rarely got any irises, and this year they all popped, and I love them. I was so jealous to see how many you had. I only had a handful. I think Nikki had, I don't know, how many wheelbarrows did you have that you were putting together? It was kind of like, wow, that's a lot of irises. Good morning, Melanie. I'm hoping Barb, is Barb here and I missed her? Good morning. I'm struggling because I don't have my glasses on. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I could see it on the TV because it's distance. But anyway, so I sat here and I just used what I have. So nothing is perfect. As you can see, this one is bordered this way. I just did what I could with what I had. You are here. I just saw you. 2 wheelbarrows full. They spread quickly. Really? Because I don't get that. I only have the couple that I put in there, and then they don't seem to spread for me. I'm glad you have luck. Maybe it's because I'm in the Northeast. But they're going to be beautiful wherever you put them. So here we are. Here's another one. And so again, I just bordered. I was just having fun and playing. What I did was I brought multiple projects with me. So I would work on a project until I would have to press, and then work on another project till I have to press. And believe it or not, it worked out doing it that way, but I have a lot of pressing to do, like lots of pressing. Other projects they're not all Quilt of Valor projects. Some of them were projects that were sent to me by people, but happy to be home. But I'm tired. I slept so well. And go figure, right? Because I'm at the safety of my home in an actual building. I was up a couple times. And then here I am in a tent out in the wilderness where anything can come get me. My honey was like freaking me out one night talking about axe murderers and some kind of guy who went around. I was like, do you think this is helpful to tell me this right before I'm going to go to bed in this tent? Yeah, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, I slept better out in the woods. I don't know, must be. But I froze, but I slept better. All right. So now I have blocks that look like this. They have like a pinwheel. And then I just kind of took someone's advice and just used my crumbs, or not my crumbs, my strips, and kind of log cabin styled it. Not sure yet what I'm going to do with these. I was just playing. Now these pinwheel part was part of another quilt. So the pinwheel part was part of a bonus HSTs. So I had them, and for a while, good morning, Mike. Oh, I'm back, yes. And so these were an HST, bonus HST from another quilt that I made many years ago. And so I finally put them together in a pinwheel shape. Use my 2.5-inch strips that I cut from the scraps that I had and just went for it. And so I'm looking at it now in the light, and some of them are good and some of them are like, oh, okay, but we're gonna go with it. So what you don't know is I put these together in the middle, like I want to say, and I don't do any nighttime sewing, but it must have been 8 or 9 o'clock. And you know, the campground was busy. People had, you know, fires going. My honey does not like to do those campfires. I love them, but he doesn't. And so I just was underneath the stars, pitch black, and I had a little lantern and my sewing machine set up outside, and I had the light. I have an LED light on Josefina, which is quite bright. Put on her light, and I sewed these in the dark underneath the stars for about 3 hours. I don't think I went to bed that night until 10:30. So, you know, maybe some of these were, maybe it was a little too dark for some of these combinations, but it's okay. It's a scrap quilt. Anything goes, I feel. I just don't know. I didn't have any, I'm like debating whether I put some white strips or light strips. I'd have to look and see what I have. Because when you go camping trip, you know, I didn't bring my whole sewing room with me. So I was at the mercy of what I had with me is really it. And I did a lot of sewing. You just didn't see, like, because this time around, the reception there was really not good at all. It just really wasn't. I couldn't believe I could go live that one morning on Saturday. But I sewed at the marina, and I sewed at Buzzards Bay, and you did see that because there was a big barge. And then I sewed a lot at my campground. And my solar generator never needed to be picked up. What is this? I'm sorry, I'm looking. Never needed to be like recharged. I actually am coming home with 3 bars on it. It has 4 bars, and I finally turned it to 3 yesterday because I did sew at the beach yesterday, Scusset Beach. Before we left, we went to Scusset Beach, met up with Angelica, and so yes, so we have been everywhere. Let's see. Let me see if I can move this closer, and then let's start putting some stuff up. Let's see. Sorry. Okay. Hello. Now I can see some of y'all's writing. Let's see. Honey was probably trying to scare you a little so you would cuddle him for protection. Maybe, Muriel. I think it was because I was sewing. That was that night I was sewing, and he's like, are we going to go to bed? I was like, well, you can go to bed. I get great sleep in my camper, except once I had a loud bird outside my camper and maybe on my camper. Yes, the birds are very loud. Good morning, Michelle the quilter. How nice of you to make a quilt about it. I love the scrappy flags. She's saying hello to everyone. Yes, my hubby thought you were nuts. Yes, I'm a little nuts. He was who is the nut sewing in the tent? That would be me. And I was sewing out on the beach. I was sewing out on the canal. I was sewing like a sewing maniac. Good morning, Phoebe. Good morning, Sherry. Oh, too funny. All right, so here we are. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna do something. I also did a lot of crumb blocks. And then I came home to all this white stuff just floating in the air, and it's got me all crazed. So I did not on purpose match these. They're super close. They're super close to being matchy here on this side. So I don't know. That was unintentional. And like, where's Waldo sewing? I love it. I watched too many camping ghost channels to think it was a bird on top of my camper. Yeah, I don't know. But now you see, so this needs more strips. It's because these, I don't know. I did not measure any of this. So some of these will work. Some of them may. Some of them gonna have to be cut. But I want to put it, I didn't have a design wall, even though I did have a tablecloth to put it. Cottonwood, wait, yes, cottonwood is bad right now. Oh, yes. It's so, is that what it is, that white fluffy stuff? I never know what that white fluffy stuff is. My honey said it looks like dandelion. You know, a lot of dandelion stuff. But yeah, I'm sure people at the campground, they're all, what, probably doing the traditional drinking, fire, s'mores, and I'm over here with my sewing machine. So, but you know what? It just sounded like people's people have their generators going. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just placing things, trying to figure out if I like this. I don't think I like to mix the flags together. Maybe we're making more than one. Yeah, I'm not too crazy about these. We're gonna just leave those. And I do have an idea for these. We could do something like, see this? Oh, I have crumbs. I have a pile of crumbs that I sewed up. And let's see, is that stuff? Yes. I have a pile of crumbs I sewed up, and I just got thinking Felicity may be nice. Because look, I could put the flags in this part here, and then I could use crumbs for this part because I have patriotic crumbs, and then use this maybe for something else. I'm thinking more of that. I would like to do. I think that would be good. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 6. Let's see what block size Felicity is. So Felicity is a rectangle, and well, that won't work because that block, but it would work this way if I put the flags this way. Felicity would work, actually. Did you finish your mystic cactus? What's my mystic cactus? Maybe. I don't know. I'm working on so much stuff. Maybe you're talking to somebody else. The park 2 blocks from my house has lots of cottonwood trees. Looks like snow. Yeah, it's horrible. I came here and then now I'm feeling yucky again. I had a work shift. Oh, he's working on it. Gotcha. All right, so we're going to set this out. Let's see. If we put this like this, right? And remember, I can work with this so that it's a little different too, because the Quilt of Valor has to be longer. And I could just take that whole quilt and instead of it being this shape, be this shape, and then just add a whole nother set like that. Would that work? That would work. That actually would work. So let's do it that way. So if I do it that way, there's 2 of these. Yes, we are going to set it. Nobody says that it has to be set the way they said it needs to be set. We can do it this way. Watch this. And then, because this is 1, 2, 3 rows, so we'll do 6 rows. And then that'll probably give us the length that we need for, oh, I have to intersprinkle these. Maybe put one of these up here. I really have no idea what I'm going. Yes. So this is where we're going with this. Yes. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So basically, we're just going to double this here. Welcome to my peeps. A member came up. Bright green. I don't think I've ever seen that on my channel. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Is the camera reversed? I hope. Yes, the camera is reversed. There is nothing I can do about it. It's apparently a bug between live streaming, which is a YouTube thing, and the phone. I could say it's not my phone. Everybody has the same thing. So Lynn had the same thing, and I asked her what she did, and she said she just doesn't use her phone. She uses a computer. I was thinking the same. Yes, I know. This is quite the thing. Good morning, Andrew. So, okay, so we have that. But you know what? Now that I'm thinking here, let's see what the... I mean, I'm going to just probably use Felicity as a jumping off point because that diamond, right? Look at that. That diamond can be, maybe that diamond can be this. Bloop. Maybe this could be the diamond instead of crumbs. I'm not, right? Sewing backwards. Usually on Tuesday night, we have a 4 to 5 people scheduled. Last night, we had 9 scheduled, and 2 of them got terminated. From what? What? We must have missed something. Enjoying a relaxing morning, Melanie. I hope, Melanie. Oh, that's right. Your kiddos don't have school anymore, right? Is that the deal? Okay, so I'm looking at this block here, and it tells me what the finished block size is. So let's see what size this block is. Oh, not quite it. But if I add, if I add one more strip this way and this way, it will be the size I need. They lost their jobs. That's sad. So wait a second. So this maybe can go like this. We can do something like this. Let me double check. But I think all I have to do is add one more row. A little bit more than a row. So this would be, obviously I'm going to have to add to this to probably put another row of something there. But we're going to take this Felicity idea and we're going to go with it. I make you fun of it. And this is all from crumbs, so here we go. We can do something like this. So we have these we can do something with. Or, I mean, I would have to add, obviously I have to add more fabric to this and more fabric to that. But I think this would be cool. I don't know. I don't know if these pinwheels are doing it for me here. All right, let's go with, so this is my pile of crumbs. This is my pile of crumbs. Let's see. I'm just looking at ideas. All right. That could be an idea. We could use this. I'll leave these here. Let's work on some crumbs. Let's see what it would look like if we put crumbs in that spot. Is this for the June challenge? I am doing Elegance in the Big Block book for mine. Good morning, A is incognito. Well, I'm glad I'm inspiring you. Because I love playing on my board and I love using my scraps. And that's what we're going to be using a lot of. You're not going to see a lot of unboxings happening here unless someone sends me something for free, because that's where life is for me right now. All right, so put this aside. So is this for the Patriotic? Yes, I mean it is for the June Soft Squares challenge, but I was gonna do it regardless, honestly, because I just want to. So I had strip sets that I found in my crumbs, and I made this. And then I had done this like wonky 9 patchy looking thing. So these were just things that resemble a block. And then I have these things that don't resemble a block. And here we go. And they're just like pieces and this. So this is where I said I had to stop making crumbs because, whoa, look at this. At nighttime, I sewed this twice. I put one here and one here. Now, what in the world? Oh, I know why I did that. Because I didn't cut off the selvage. And so I know why I did that. Okay, let's cut this selvage off. I promise you, there was no vino happening on this end of this camping trip. While sewing, at least. Here we are. I don't know if this is worth to sew. Is that even going to... I don't know about this piece. That might be a lost cause piece. All right. So I think that I'm going to try this out because I have to do something with these. I have to do something with these. And so maybe I will keep those other ones and keep working on them. I think I'm going to keep working on those pinwheels. It'll be not quite a log cabin because I did one side dark, but maybe if I get some light fabric, I'll do something just different. Because that's what this channel is about. This channel is about making something a little different, using what you got, and going with the flow of things. So these are old pieces still that have been not sewn together. So we'll put those aside. Oh, these are the pieces from when I was sewing those sides on the flags. Okay. So here we go. I've got a couple of, I have so much to show you. So even though I didn't go per se shopping, I did found treasures. I found treasures. We went on a treasure hunt. On what day did we go on a treasure hunt? Was it Saturday or was it Sunday? I don't remember what day. Oh, Saturday. It was Saturday. Saturday we went on a treasure hunt. That means we went to yard sales and thrift stores. And even though I'm on a spending spree as far as like big ticketed items and stuff like that, I mean, yard selling and thrifts, you know, I think I spent a total of maybe $20, if that, on the whole day. And you should see all the stuff I bought. I got a sewing machine. Yes, I got a sewing machine. With a table. A table. A sewing machine with a table. I got a Singer 700 series Touch and Sew with a beautiful table. I have pictures. And the reason I did that was because my daughter wants a table with a knee, you know, the knee thing. And when I went to one of the church yard sales or church whatever that they were having, this church had this beautiful table and they wanted $10 for it. $10. She said it's worth just the table alone. She was selling me hard. Didn't take that much to convince me to buy it. I bought it. We loaded it onto the car or into the car. I brought it to my campsite. The thing was seized. And yes, I got it running. We played with that. That was our Sunday play, him and I. We got the sucker running. It was running fabulous. Then you put the needle in. Wasn't so fabulous because the needle kept hitting the metal bobbin area. So we're pretty sure that the timing is out. And we did some research. When we went to the marina, you can get service. And why I forgot to go live while I was on the marina, well, I was probably just enjoying myself. But anyway, so when I was looking at it, it's gold. The touch and sew is gold on the outside, shimmery. It's pretty. And my daughter was excited for it, even though I have a 403 or 401, I don't know, one of those that I had restored here for her, but it didn't have a table. So when I went, I took the touch and sew, which is the 700 series. It was called the Golden, I don't remember, whatever. I took it out and I got it running, but the table that touch and sew was in, it fit the machine, but you couldn't use the knee lever thing because it wasn't made, that table wasn't made for you to use your knee thing. I can't explain it. The foot itself doesn't fit where you're supposed to put it. It fits those boxed feet. So that table will be perfect for the 40, I don't remember. It was so long ago. It's refurbished. It's downstairs in a box. So I have to get it out. But anyway, we're going to give her the 40 something because the touch and sew has, I noticed the feed dogs, not only when I was going to go try to figure out how to time the machine, the feed dogs were of rubber and they were completely gone. Like all that was left was the metal. So the rubber part on top was completely disintegrated. And everything I touched on that machine turned to powder. So I think that was the first generations of machines where they started adding plastic, because when we opened it up, Honey and I were like, oh my God, this machine has now got plastic parts. We had never messed with the machine. It's from January 1973 because it has a stamp of the production. And so when I opened up the bobbin area to clean it up, all of a sudden all this like plastic little chunky pieces came off. When I took where the thread went on, all the foam padding and stuff, they didn't use felt, they used like some kind of foamy stuff, that disintegrated. And then I realized, even though we brought it home, it's not worth it. I've been looking up a lot about it. They say that when you find them, you have to change all the gears because they are rubber, and that even though you can get it working, that you really need to do a lot of overhaul on them. And the ratings on them is just not really great. So the cam system, where on the others are metal, this one's all plastic. And apparently that has problems. So I don't think I'm going to put the time and energy. It has the original of everything. So I have to have the original manual. I have all the cams. Whoever bought their touch and sew went hog wild on buying the cams for this. And I found out that the cams for the 700 series works for the 400 series. And I didn't have any cams with the one that I fixed downstairs for my daughter. So basically what I'm doing is I'm going to use that touch and sew for parts. I'm keeping it for parts. It has the original feet and that 401 that was, I found, I think for $5 that I did a while back, had nothing with it. So I'm taking all the parts, the feet, the cams, and everything from this touch and go sew thing, and going to send it off with my daughter. I'm going to make sure it all works. There is a cam that is so super cute, is little duckies, and the duckies go across, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to give you that cam, honey, because it's so cute. It's so cute. But so that's one of the things I bought. The table is at her house right now. We dropped that off, and we brought back, like I said, the sewing machine. I thought I was going to restore it, and after looking at it and seeing how many parts I would have to buy for it, and it just doesn't have a good rating. So I think I'm gonna part it. I'm gonna use it for parts. My daughter loves the manual because the manual that it came with, I will show you, is in pristine condition, and it really is like a whole sewing class in a book. It tells you everything about like seamstress sewing. I'm not a seamstress sewer, you know, I quilt, but she doesn't like the quilting aspect. She likes to take old clothes and from different parts of different clothes and make a new piece. I don't know what that's called, upcycling. She likes to upcycle clothes. So I'm gonna go into chat because I'm sure I was rambling and you all have something to say. So here we go. She makes me, okay, I already did that. She got that. I did get it running. It sounded beautiful until you put the needle in to go sew. Good morning, Linda. Really, it really was great until that. But it's okay. You know, I got it running. It runs, but I did notice that the gears were like shaved. So when I looked into it, it's going to be a bit of money to put into it, and a lot of work, like literally taking that whole machine apart and putting it back together. So I had decided, you know what? This is going to be great for parts. Yep, it really is, because I needed cams. I needed feet for that one that I found. I got that other one for $5. And then Anna gave me one for free. So the one for free is actually up. The one she gave me is up here. You've seen me sew with it. So so it's going to be all good. $10, you can't go wrong. I probably, you know, I bought one of those slant foot. You saw it. I think I opened it up on my channel on Amazon, and that foot was $12.95. And now I have an original slant foot. So hey, you really can't go wrong. So I bought that. What else did I buy? I'm trying to think. I don't know. I will bring up my stuff. Oh, I bought a sewing machine box. There was a sewing machine box, and it just looked like a whole bunch of junk in there. And this guy was having a huge barn sale, and I looked at it and I loved this plastic. It looked like a picnic basket, but all of plastic, and it reminded me of like Tupperware's colors back in the 90s, and I thought it was like a Tupperware set that people use. It wasn't. It was for crafting, because when I brought it to my campground and I started taking it apart, because I used it. I think you might have seen it in my video with the barge. It was called the Craft Storer, and he had a $10 tag on it, and I you know, when I looked in it, it looked like a bunch of junk. So I said, listen, I'll make you a deal. I said, I really don't want the inside. Maybe you could take all the stuff on the inside and put it in this little basket thing. He had a little basket thing, and then you could sell that. And then he goes, how about this? How about, before you even tell me what your deal is, you pay $5, but you have to take it all with you. You can't leave that junk behind with me. You have to throw that junk away yourself. So the funny thing is, I was going to offer him $5 just for the container. So here I got the container and the junk for $5. Basically, he had a lot. What did he have? He had a dumpster outside. He bought an antique shop. So the whole thing is, this guy bought an antique shop, gutted the whole antique shop, and is living for the last 3 or 4 years. Him and Honey were talking about construction and stuff. And now he just is trying to get rid of all the stuff in the different barns. So, of course, I come, you know, we go back to our area, and I bought it for $5 with all that junk. And I was like, oh, Honey's like, are you going to go through that, or are you just going to throw it all out? I go, well, it's old. It's like a lot of old thread. And I don't think it's worth anything, the thread. And he's like, well, why don't we don't have anything else to do. Let's just go through it. I'll go through it with you. So I didn't do a video on it. So I went through it, and there was actually things that weren't junky in there. It had like a little container. It was clear with like to put your thread in. So I was like, oh, okay. So I grabbed the thread, and I noticed like a lot of the thread spools that were wooden on top. I know people collect those, but I didn't realize like below it, because it's a 2-story type of thing, was like all new thread. Because I just looked at the top. When I opened it up, I just looked at the top thing. Underneath, I didn't look. So there was like kind of new thread, and it looked in really good shape. So I was like, okay, well, we'll save that. And then I found an Olfa. I found like a new Olfa rotary cutter in there. The blade wasn't great, but it was a new Olfa rotary cutter. It looked pretty newish, so I kept that. So I'll show you. I didn't end up throwing anything out. I put it in a bag. There was a pair of Martha Stewart's kitchen shears, which is funny because now we're going to actually put them up in our kitchen. So in the end, I got a good deal. And he got a good deal because he says, I'm filling up my dumpsters and I can't keep filling them up. You have to take junk with you. So he had some interesting stuff. So I bought that. Look, we're going through this. What else did I get at another junk sale? Oh, I got a deal of the day. So then we went to something called the Sandwich Flea Market. And that was on Sunday? Or was that on Monday? I don't remember. But we went somewhere called the Sandwich Flea Market. And this guy had a whole table of tools. So guess where Honey was? He was at the table of tools. And he was looking at what they got. And he was buying stuff. And then I spied by the corner of my eye that this guy had a camping kitchen. Now, I had been looking for a camping kitchen for a while. And it's really cool. It's, I don't know if I took a picture of it. If I did, maybe I'll post them. But basically, it's a folding thing. You fold it out. It has shelves. It has this back thing with hooks and baskets. You know, actually, it could be a wonderful sewing table. Actually, because I could put up all my rulers and stuff because it's got a whole system in the back. But this whole thing folds into like a big briefcase. And it's meant for camping. And they're kind of expensive. And, you know, I was like, oh, I see you have a camping kitchen. How much you want for that? And he says to me, for you, darling, free. And I was like, okay. So my honey's buying stuff. And I'm like, no, seriously, how much is it? He goes, no, for you, darling, free. Your honey just sat here and bought all my junk, a lot of my junk for me. So I'm going to give you that. And I said, are you sure? Because I said, these are worth money. And he's like, yeah, I don't want to take that thing home. I don't want to have to pack it up and take it home. He's like, it's yours for free. Seriously. I said, I have to give you something for it. He goes, nope, I'm passing it forward to you. And I'm like, okay, here's the gods telling me, Leanna, you pass things forward and people graciously take it. It's your turn to graciously take something that someone's passing forward to you. So this wonderful older gentleman just passed me a beautiful, he says, I've only used it once. And sure enough, when on the outside bag was horrendous. I mean, Michelle was like, I don't know what's inside there. I was like, well, honey, he's giving it to us for free. I said, the bag just may need to be washed. He says he only used it once because we were at the car. And sure enough, when we opened it, it was like brand new inside. He really did only use it once. And so I got a pass it forward given to me on my trip. And that was just very lovely. And so I brought that home. Oh, packing to come home was a situation because we bought stuff like that we probably shouldn't have. But I mean, I think I spent a total of $20, and I think Honey spent a total. I've got to kind of shave this off so I can sew this. And Honey probably spent the same thing. That's including the table. What else did I get? I'm trying to think what other things. I didn't get any fabric or anything like that. Maybe I only spent $10 because I spent $5 on the basket. And the gentleman gave, oh, I did buy something off his table that he had. I think under $20 I came home with some fabulous finds. The best was the table. Oh, I know what I came home with. A whole bag. So yeah, I spent probably $20. I forgot about the bag of stuff I bought. So while I was going to all these sales, I found games for us to play. And I was so upset because I had a game in my hand. I was so excited. I went to put it down for like 2 seconds in order, because honey wanted me to see these lobster plates that, yes, he bought. He bought these like lobster plates. I don't know why we didn't eat lobster, but he bought them. And I put down this game, and then I came back, and it was gone. And Lay's like, oh, I just sold it. I said, but I told you I was coming right back. I was just putting this. And I put it on my sewing table. I was going to pay for it with my sewing table. She goes, I'm sorry. The guy, it's sold. Around here, you got to give the money fast. I'm like, okay. But it was, have I never ever? I don't know, something like that. But it was more of a PG version. And I thought that was super cute, and we could have played. Well, that didn't happen. But I did find other games. I found, and all of them are kind of new games, like still wrapped in the plastic. I got Trivial Pursuit, the 80s and 90s Trivial Pursuit. So I have that. I have some other games. I can't remember what the titles were, but they were kind of like just fun question games. And I got a whole bag of that kind of stuff. Games. Some new, some old. There was a great game I wanted to buy, and my honey's like, that may be too over the top for your channel. And it was called When You Think You Have a Dirty Mind, or something like that. And the game is PG. And it is it's kind of like this, where am I? And it gives you clues, and then you say what it is. But when you read the cards, if you had a dirty mind, you're like, what in the world? And it was hysterical. I was reading some of the cards to him, and I was laughing. And I mean, it would be like a cantaloupe. The answer would be the cantaloupe. But I mean, the clues were a little bit, but he's like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. Almost bought the game just to play with my family, but in the end, I ended up not. I think I had a cheap attack. It was $2. I should have bought it, because it was just, if anything, it was just a riot. Let's see. Sorry, how many? Oh, wait, I have to go back. There we go. She got, yes, let's see. I used to love hitting rummage sales. Hubby says no because I drag too much junk. Oh, how many machines do you have now, Leanna? Are you sew along or classes again? Actually, I've been giving away a lot of my machines. So honey brought home 2 sewing machines, one an old Elna and one a brother. And we fixed the brother, just needed a little bit of tweaking, and I gave that away. The Elna, I love it. I have an Elna Diva, and this was probably around that time, and the lady had the original paperwork, and she bought her Elna where I bought my Elna. And but we can't get, what was wrong with it? It's running, but there's something wrong with it, and I can't remember what it was. I don't remember, but it was a situation, and honey just put that aside. Again, the one that I bought for $10, the table went to my daughter. I'm going to use the parts. I think I just have my 401. The one downstairs doesn't count because that's going to go to my daughter. I have my 401, my 301, my Rocketeer, my Singer 15, and a Singer 99. That's 5 that have tables. Then I have my 3 Featherweights and prints. and which is a 301A long bed. Yes, but now my featherweights, I brought Josefina with me, and a featherweight is going to Puerto Rico with me. And I think that's it. My honey was saying maybe I should bring my 700 and take it to the sewing machine guy who charges $25 to fix anything plus parts. But I think there's just too much work in that touch and sew, and everything I read about it is not really great. So it's probably not even worth the paying to bring it to Puerto Rico and then having the guy try to fix it. I think we're better off using it as parts, because I do need the parts for the other machine. So that's where I am up with the machine count. But anytime anybody needs a machine, or I find that needs a machine, I end up giving them something that I have here. That's why we actually, and my honey bought a machine. You guys don't even know about that one. That one is like a teal blue. It's really beautiful. It's a new home. That machine he's got working. The only thing he can't get working is the feed dogs don't go down. There's a button to put it, and it's like solidified. It doesn't go down. But the machine works. Everything works except for the feed dogs don't go down. The feed dogs work normal as long as you are sewing. But yeah, we've been gifting a lot of these machines. There are machines I haven't even told you that we found because I went ahead and fixed it and then turned it around. But I'm thinking now I need to stop giving everything away, maybe make some money on Marketplace. Let's see. Good morning, Marlene. Oh, it's early for Marlene. A new bag for, so Muriel. So my honey, he brought it to the campground, and we had been using it because it's great. It's fabulous. We have been using it, and actually, the bag had pollen on it. That's what it was, like yellowish, and we didn't know if it was mold or what. It was pollen. So he had one of those stiff cleaning brushes in his car. Don't ask me. He's got a lot of stuff in his car. And we had to take his car because of my car issues. And he has car issues. His car normally only stays around for local, but we rolled the dice and took it. We only had one little hiccup, and he fixed it. The hiccup was the hood. He opened it up to put water in the radiator, and then the hood wouldn't close and latch. And then you can't drive a car with a hood that's wonky and won't latch. I told him, looking at it, I go, well, maybe you just need some oil and grease. And I have plenty of oil and grease, right, for my sewing machines. And so sure enough, that's what it needed. He put some oil on there, and then the latch, it's like the little, I can't explain it. It's like a wire thing that goes through the housing, and I guess it just needed a little oil. But I digress. So anyway, so he had a stiff brush, and he went like this, and the bag looks like new. It was just pollen. I mean, we'll wash it, but it was just pollen. It looks brand new now. Let's see. Wow, she sold it, right? Yes, she did. And Mike, I thought of you when I bought that. I said, oh, Mike would like this game. I think he would like the Dirty Box game, too. It was hysterical. Those clues that they were giving on the cards. And I'm telling you, the answer would be like donut, cantaloupe, sailboat. Very funny. Very funny. Good morning, Regina. I have remorse that I didn't pay the $2, even though maybe I couldn't do it on my channel. And my job, we have to call the customer by their name on their order. I had a customer whose name was Daddy. I bursted out laughing. You got me to call. I bought a machine from Marketplace. The feed dogs look like they are working, but they don't pull the fabric through. Oh, no. What model? What number is it, Regina? Is it an old one? Your daddy, when he pulled up, I played with. That is too funny. Good morning, Jessica. Don't forget, I'm looking for houses or whatever you think that represents you for the quilt that I'm putting on the back of this. Looking for these houses. I have not gone to the post office. I am going to the post office today after school, and we'll see if there's any happy mail in there or any houses or anything. we'll see. I do have 2 packages. My guess is they are packages from like Creative Notions and Kaleidoscope Quilts, because those were packages that came to my house, not my P.O. box. So we might have some new things to open, because I love the Happy Mail. I mean, it's so bad during vacation when we would get service, my phone would, you know, go bing, 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 bing. And I would look and it's like Missouri Star, Spoonflower, you know, all those places. So I said, honey, it's too tempting. So I actually spent a little bit of time at the marina and deleted and hit stop. You know, you can hit stop for sending you texts, because I don't want to be teased every day of things. So I unsubscribed myself to deals, so I do not get myself in trouble. Let's see. Oh, Mindship, I can't wait to see everyone's. I sent my house already. Yay! I can't wait. Oh, what day for the houses? I think we said June 19th. I think we were just flowing with it. It's an older Kenmore. Bought it for $40 for my sewing club. Oh, okay. Oh, the 15th. There you go. Jessica's on it. Oh, I have managed to get one house together. I'll try for a couple more. But brand new grandbaby. Oh, congratulations. That's so exciting. Oh yeah, you only need to send one. That's fine. Yeah, we're gonna have fun. You know how I'm just doing this? We're just gonna figure it out. And again, I'm just making yardage out of this. I'm just making yardage out of these crumbs. And I think we're gonna just cut from here. And we're going to make something spectacular, okay? We're going to make something spectacular for these beds. I think I'm just going to, you know how last time I was only making 1 quilt, and then I ended up sending her 4. I'm probably not going to do that, but she's definitely getting more than 1 quilt. And she has a story for that. Pat, when I say she, I'm talking about Pat. Pat already has a home for this quilt. Not this one, but the one in which I did the debacle quilt. I'll show you. It's right behind me. I just actually finished some of it. Ready? Good morning, Kim. Here it is. Oh, I came home to boxes of work, sewing work, so I have to do that too. Fabric Cafe is keeping me busy, folks, and I'm not the only sample maker, so I can only imagine. So here we go. Oh, that's upside down or sideways. So here's the debacle. You know, these were supposed to be flipped that way, but hey, it's happening. It's happening. I'm in my own design. So this actually has a home already. I have to add more to it because it's like 54 by 74, and I think it needs to be 60 by 80. I'll call Pat and ask her. If not, it just means another border. I could just put another border all the way around it. But here it is. And I have a video uploaded about this. Very different than the pattern, but hey. It was a pleasant, beautiful surprise. Except for I was surprised as I was actually doing the tutorial. I'm like, wait, what did I do? Oh, you know, another day here. Do they send you the fabric for the sample quilts? Oh, yeah. No, I can't show you what they sent me, but it comes in a box. I showed you once. There's one time I could show you that she sent me a quilt that I could do because it was one of their regular quilts. So yes, they send me everything. It's the ones that actually go in the books. So like when they sent it to me, they sent me everything. They said, this is the actual quilt I made. They sent me all that. This is the actual quilt I made. They sent me everything for that. They sent me everything for this. And then they use it, and, you know, sometimes, you know, I think so far, out of all the years of doing it, I've messed up 2 quilts. I'll be truthful. I messed up 2 quilts. What I meant by messing up 2 quilts is everything worked, and I flipped kind of like this, where I have just kind of did something like that. Not where the whole quilt, I had maybe turned 1 block. 1 block was turned not the right way. And both of the quilts in which I did that were batik quilts that use the same material, meaning the same fabric. And it's just weird that that happened. 2 separate years. But it seems like when the colors are super close, and I've done that twice, it was an easy fix. Both times were an easy fix. You just, you know, went around that little piece and then, you know, tweaked the block. But, you know, I try to catch any big mistakes like that before they go out. One time, the first time I did it, they didn't even catch the mistake. I caught the mistake. I was going through my pictures and I'm like, oh, there's this one. And then I'm like texting her and she goes, we just caught it yesterday. And she said the whole thing had been quilted, photographed. Nobody caught it in all this. And then they caught it like right when the photographs were. So, yes. So that one friend had to actually redo that whole quilt. I felt terrible. She says things like that happen. It was just 1 block. She says nobody caught it. I mean, it goes through so many different hands for that reason. Oh, I did that with one of the fabric cafes. I bought 2 very different pieces at the quilt shop. At least I thought they were different until they were cut apart. Then they looked the same. Yes, I know. It just happens. I don't know what to say. It just happens. So something like this, I just kind of find, I don't know. I don't know if, let's see, can you see? I'm going to trim this because this is an odd shaped crumb. So when I deal with an odd shaped crumb, I just kind of cut off the wings here. I have to go to work, unfortunately. See, I was spoiled all these days not having to work. Now, I'm actually going to leave this like this because what I think I might do is I think I might put another piece here and kind of like rectangle this off somehow. You know, like maybe I could use this piece here. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But that's what I do. And then I figure out, like here, look, I have this. So maybe I can sew this here and get maybe, well, this would have to, I need a little piece here. So this would go here. This is the way my mind works. That piece would go there. I would sew this. Let's see, can you see further? Let's go put you down further. So I would sew this to this and this to this. And then I would kind of get a nice piece there going. And so this is how I do my crumbing. I just happily crumb without no rhyme or reason. We'll take this piece here. And same thing, I will just kind of clean off these. And then figure it out from here. Now that's too little. But we'll figure it out. I'm going to continue working on crumbs another day because I've got to get ready for work. I've been real lazy and now it's time for me to go to work. I wish I could be here with you all for the whole day sewing in my sewing room because I'm so ecstatic to get this quilt going. Good morning, Raven. And yes, we are leaving. Crazy piecing. I made crazy quilts for a time. Taught my guilt. Oh, I know, but you do the fancy stitching with it, right? This is just, we're going to make a block into it. Everyone, though, have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself and pass it forward. And I will see you soon in my crazy, crazy craft room. Take care. Bye-bye. And if you wouldn't mind on your way out, hitting that like button, that would be oh so helpful for me. Take care. Bye.